A very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to get me on this platform. Thank you to the teams, the partners who have got me on this call, respected Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, team from RIMT, who is working hard, and the discussion which I heard before this call, uh, it clearly signifies the relevance of how important it is to look into the current scenario of security. I would like to spend the next 45 minutes or so talking a little bit of on the perspective worldwide, how we are seeing security as an organization, otherwise as well, how actually the industry is working towards securing the nation, how things are for especially the academia, which is the purpose today as well, that how important it is. I also thought, because it is an academic session, it's very pertinent and important to understand how and why we should engage in security even as a career. Is there an opportunities? But most importantly, understanding the background, right? Uh, just to give you a perspective, before that, let me try to share my screen. Let me know if you are able to see the screen, if we can use the presentation. Do let me know if the screen is visible to you. Visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Good. Okay, without taking much time, let me get into this. This is huge number of slides and presentation, but I would like to be interactive. If we unmute few hundreds of students, it is difficult. I know everybody is in their different time zones or different mind zones, if I can say so, while we are working at home. So I will try to, seek support from Ms. Jasmine, Ravinder, and the people whom I'm seeing on the call, and the respected team who can unmute or stop me in between if people have questions. I can still see few raise hand, but you can bring it down so that we know if it is a raise hand means you are looking for a answer to a question. Though those who are having the raise hand, I'm assuming, just to give you a little bit of tips on teams, from your team RIMIT, you can just chat with them separately to ask if they have problem with sound, not able to hear, so that people are comfortable with that. Okay. My name is Deepak Talwar. I am the National Security Officer for Microsoft India. In one line, it's the ambassador who is looking into the outside world to connect to you, academia, our government of India, our enterprise customers, small and mid enterprises organizations, industry bodies, all across the nation, how we see security compliance, how do we represent and improve the security posture, how do we make sure the organizations are more resilient in current scenario of work from home condition or hybrid cloud model, are some of the touch points I try to represent for my company, right? Including obviously the regulatory aspects, like AI, Internet of Things, blockchain. There are so many things, quantum computing, how it is impacting the industry vis-a-vis security, and to make sure that this is well aligned in the benefit of citizens, in the benefit of students, in the benefit of each individual user who are using it. At Microsoft, our mission is to empower every organization to achieve more, every individual, every organization to achieve more. And in that, if I can share with you why I shared that mission to start with is, obviously there cannot be a better community than academia or education, whom we need to empower, because that's the future generation. That's the future part who is going to build something called as future internet with all the advanced technologies, right? So with deep gratitude, I welcome you all to listen to me, give you 40 minutes of it. Let me start something. Today, the organizations or enterprises, you talk about your own institutes or universities, the smallest organizations, everybody is getting into security in the integrated approach. It is like end-to-end security getting integrated. What does that mean? The first thing which is important to understand is the attack services are cheap. What does that mean? Uh, This is the first fundamental things I always try to encourage and share with any of the community, the senior most corporates, executives, to students, the Generation X, right? Is it's all about the place or the side of the ground where you are playing, right? It is something like, do you want to be an ethical hacker or you want to be an hacker? Do you want to be a good cultural human being or you want to be doing against the community, society, people, at the end of the day, family, right? In all said and done, in the cyber security world, the way we see physical crimes, terrorism, there is a huge amount of issues in, or rather larger issues, because of internet threats, because of cyber threats, because of fraud. And trust me, this is not about earning money. This is not about doing some hacking and try to, siphon millions of dollars. This is bare minimum impact in today's world. Earlier it is highest, today also it is the topmost, attack vector or mindset or requirement, which is to laundering money or transferring money or transacting money or data theft or security theft. But more than that, now it is all about nation state threat. A threat which can impact a power utility system, a threat which can impact a transport system, your metros, a threat which can impact the entire ecosystem of a city. Now we are moving towards smart city. Your states and territories are smart cities or about to be in smart cities. In those scenarios, it is very, very important that these threats can cause human losses. Unfortunately, can have a huge impact. I mean, not to code, but more than COVID anytime. The way we see the infection in the air, the infection through smaller pieces of particles in this in the environment, which can cause healthcare fatalities, right? Or an impact which we all are going through, right? Similarly, in the same way, internet is like a air or a water which is connected, free flowing. Nobody owns internet, by the way. And now there are so many models, digitization, that the impact can be exponential. And this is not to create threat and fear. Rather, I am one vocalist who never talks about security as a fear or a threat. Security is an enabler. It helps you improve. It helps you even earn better. It helps you better career. It helps you to be more digitally secure, right? So that you can focus on your education or your job or your entrepreneurial thing, whatever you want to do in life in a better way, rather than thinking and worried about security, because end of the day, we all today talk less, touch more. Are you all with me till now? Yes. So you talk to your phone more, you connect to the phone, type more, speak less, think more, feel more, but you don't get into technology every day by talking to people. Work from home, COVID-19, work from anywhere rather, not only home now, hybrid connectivities, right? 2 hours you are there can be lockdowns, even if it is not lockdown, fear factors, stress, psychological pressure of being ill, all those brings you back home or to the office or to some remote areas or to the luxury places sitting next to the beach, anywhere you get connected. That means you need connectivity. You need a gadget, can be any device, smartphones, laptop, desktop, any smart gadgets, even watches, iWatches, whatever, smart watches. You connect to the network, you connect to social life, you connect to your corporate system or education system, and you are active 24/7. The world is very different. Trust me, it is not going to change as well. It is going to go next level from here. Let me take give you a thought on India. We as a country which is full of or rich of our villages, we are living in a country which is close to what, 6.5 to 7.5 lakhs villages approximately, abundance of villages. They are not just remote or rural urban, they are now digitally connected, at least best of the possibilities, thanks to all the communities, to state governments of Punjab and any governments on the state, central, but all in every 10, 15, 20 years, and including thanks to the global community, the IT, the advancement of other countries which we acquire. Today we are advanced nation. Our villages are more advanced, right? Looking from a positive lens always, not to the worrisome side of it that this is not connected, that is not connected, but see yourself. Anyone on the call who is still spend 3-4 hours in bank may not be. If you are doing it because you like it, you want to be more connected to bank, is a different thing. But if you want to feel that can you do ease of banking, answer is 101% you don't need to be on bank. I'm sure you don't buy as well going to different carts or merchandise. Not that physically going out is transforming. Even if it is, I would love to be with you all physically. I will never replace that piece with virtual. Never ever. That is one part of the EQ factor, or staying connected, or being part of the community. It should never go. But yes, the human intelligence now combining with the digital intelligence, and is far more it can grow than compared to the human minds and intelligence. With that combination, attack vectors also takes a precedence. You can launch an attack by paying a small amount to underground economy. It is also growing and flourishing in their best pieces, right? And they can, you can buy a small ransomware. You can look into dark nets, get a compromised accounts. People can reach out to you. Exploit kits are available. You can do 0 days attacks. Any vulnerability which is found out today, same day you can put the attack, so on and so forth. Good condition? Don't know. I would say it's a great condition to be a policeman or an IAS officer or a cyber, defender, cyber warrior, same like COVID warriors, stand, and there is a huge opportunity to help transform, build the other side of the world, right? I'm raising my hand for that, including, I'm assuming, all of you. Underground economy, rich underground economy, but as like any criminal in the world, someday physically, virtually, mentally, logically, whatever way it is, get to the bad part of their side. And similarly, the cybercrime is not great to be on that other side. And by the way, you have a huge opportunity, lucrative opportunity to defend it. Anybody who is helping to de-siphon the money, or de-siphon the reputation, or de-siphoning the government or nation state threats is getting a $10, right? And you feel they can multiply millions of dollars. Maybe you are earning little less tomorrow in your life, but you are converting those dollars by improving the community, improving yourself. Huge amount of opportunities to take care of it, right? So that was the first message. I took a little longer time because that's the key to talk about. Little bit of tech aspect to make it interesting. I started with little bit of cyber crime and all, not to get too much interested into that in terms of what is happening. Let me come to some part of the complexity. It is very important to understand that and why I'm taking organization, so that from you people also on the call, students, faculties, administration, people who are thinking your university to be the next cloud first university, cyber security, evangelize first university, building the center of excellence in your university, setting up a incubation center, promoting students to do entrepreneurial thing. I think it is important to understand how do we manage information. How do we manage information privacy? How do we manage information security? How do we manage cyber security risk, right? Cyber security risk, it is all about protecting your data, protecting your infrastructure, protecting your information, protecting each and everything under the IT and the infra, so that the systems, users can be more secure, can be more resilient, and they can focus on their job. Just to give you one more aspect or definition in terms of security is not compliance. When I'm talking compliance, it is all about that, okay, as a university, I should be training based on University Grant Commission. A university teaching, there should be a methodology, some some blueprint, some defined credits, some defined subjects, what is to be teach, how it has to be teach. Many of the things can be customized by colleges, schools, universities, but there are processes to be defined which is standard regulatory thing, so that there is a there is an acknowledgement or acceptance that this is the benchmarking, like AICT, right, or the technical universities of the states, or the region, which can also define that. So the way they are defined in education community, and then we all study in their own way with best of the faculties, administration. But there is a policy, like now we are having NEP, National Education Policy, which are transforming more on practical scenarios, giving credit more on industry networks, thinking more on, it is not just security, teaching on computers, it is about the IT, all about doing the real-time assessments, reviews, industry speakers I am representing today to you. So many things which are changing, but these all policies, regulations to regulate. Then based on that you are assessed, and then based on that you get your certification, and based on that there are accreditations, regulatory thing, certifications which are acknowledged and recognized worldwide. You can travel anywhere, study anywhere, and you get those certifications authenticated. These all processes comes under compliance and regulation, similarly in cyber security. NIST. You can Google it later on. What is the NIST framework for IT, information security, data security, whatnot. So many domains within security and compliance, right? And then, as I said, security is not compliance, because in compliance we are talking about regulations, being regulated. For example, you all use smartphones, you all use internet, you all use laptop, desktop, you connect to web, connect to the network, and then you transact. While you are transacting, just to give you a flow, whether from mobile, you only see OTP, or you transact on Amazon and you get your things at home. But behind the scene, when you are transacting, it is payment gateways, it is the banking fraternity, and there are a lot of tech stuff goes on for security, authenticating it. You just get 6-digit or 4-digit PIN, OTP, or sometimes automatic approval or biometrics, and you get more, not much worried, and just get the things done. But end of the day, you always somewhere assume, I hope my money is safe, I hope my money is giving the taking care under the security belt. And that's where this whole infrastructure and security gets a paramount, right? That's second part. So this, I'm not explaining this technical slide, but the objective to share with you is there are organizational structure, how to manage risk. There are management structures in the organization. This is all organization. It is not in the education and academia. But now I'm advancing my discussion, because you all are mature enough to look into, get into Google, and identify these things, what is important. And then how risk is managed through our information risk management. There is a complete org structure, and then governance model, and at the same time people requirement, what applications any organization using, same for education, what they're using, what is their infrastructure, how am I securing my endpoints, my laptop, my desktop, my smart devices. When I log in, do I have a two-factor authentication? Do I just log in and give the exam without knowing anybody can get the access to the systems where the, I don't know, maybe the digital examination assessment documents are lying, or your important research are lying, right? Maybe 4 years, many good students have done research which can be patent tomorrow, millions of dollars can be invested on that. You have your brand built on it, entrepreneurial thing, but that thing is lying somewhere open. Can you believe what it can cause? Maybe a research of individual students to the PhDs, and they miss around because of not being able to take in care, because there was low or less education, or lack of awareness to how to secure data or infrastructure. Every industry, every organization, every academia, every institute, every large and small entities, for the knowledge purpose, I can share, every industry is a tech industry. Every company is a software company or a tech company. It is not an IT company. You go to pharma, you do farming, you go healthcare, you go to manufacturing, you go to IT enabled services, government, everybody is digital and technical, right? So, and they use platforms. I'm using a little technical term today for you all so that you can learn later on in Google. There is something which you start learning. This is fairly, even the largest organizations are learning that journey. But I want to advance you to start learning that and search that what is zero trust. By word itself, zero trust means never trust, always verify. What does that mean? Whether you are insider, coming from internet, you are talking about identity, protection, detection, respond, recover, you are going to validate everyone, insider or outsider. And zero trust is an architecture, it's a journey which helps you to define, to secure your digital identity, your devices, your infrastructure, your networks. Similarly, there is a term which you all should learn is modern SOC. There are many terms, but I'm just using few of them advancement so that people get a little curious and try to dig into and learn later on. Security Operations Center. So many technologies are running around in the education, organization, industries, and then they don't talk to each other. If they talk, there is somebody who is to monitor them to know whether the health is good of the security or not. Those are the things which are managed by Security Operations Center. A center where a lot of time you might have seen large screens. There are a lot of stats analytics going on. It is something like in movies you see Hollywood, Bollywood, that somebody is being tracked, data, logs, attacks on the system, network, these all can be looked into from what is happening behind the scenes from information passing through by setting up the security operations centers. Right. Coming back to the topic. Today, security is at an inflection point. You are living in a world where there are hundreds and hundreds of security organizations. We connect to many third parties. Lot of applications get connected from outside, including academia. Somebody is giving digital learning, somebody is providing learning management system, somebody is providing content. You are also connecting outside to the world. While logging in, you have your smartphone, your devices, multiple authentication. That means we are living with so many digital identities. Then you have multiple devices from you log in. And on top of it, huge amount of, from the, MBs, bytes, megabytes or terabytes to petabytes, now zettabytes and whatnot, are the huge amount of information or data is being floating around, being collected, being stored, and that need to be secured, right? Behind that, to capture that data, to siphon the information, to tamper the devices, to compromise the digital identity. There are cyber criminals, hacktivists, cyber threats going around with $6 trillion annual cyber crime, which is happening. That's the value of the impact, right? And there are insider risk as well, external risk as well. And then there are on top of it, breaches are there. Ransomwares are there. There can be an attack by which the entire network endpoints get encrypted. Blue screen comes in and say pay the ransomware. People have to pay as well. A lot of time people don't even report because they wanted their data back. Never ever a ransomware being paid like a normal ransomware you get back what you have lost, right? No. Anyways, so as Microsoft, just to give you a representation, in 2020, 30 billion email threats we were intercepting to find the attacks, 40 plus active nation state threats, and attack or threats which can cause the impact to the critical infrastructure, utility, power, energy sector, transport system. These all are called critical infrastructure, banking system, insurance sector, right? All comes under critical infrastructure of the country, which can completely halt the nation, which can completely halt your livelihood, right? It is as damaging. That's called nation state threats, not just a threat which is on the state or a threat which can be on the system or a network or a company, right? It can damage the impact is fairly huge, and it can even cause human lives, right? More than the brand and money or reputation of the country. 31 billion authentication attacks was intercepted, 140 plus threat group currently tracked. There are groups and they have their names, defined names of those, groups who also sometimes volunteer that I did that attack, right? Anyways, so when I said zero trust is a framework, is a blueprint where I use three words: verify explicitly. That means you need to check, validate, verify each and every one, the way we do it at airport, right? And then use least privilege. If you need to only open the system, study, access internet for several sites, there is not requirement to get into network access, backend systems or other things. You are not a power user, you are not an admin, you are not an IT. You should be defined with the privilege which you are bound to do. That's called least privilege. Many a times which you will see, or read that the assessments are, which are being done on the even the mature, organizations or institutes or academies or whatever, we have more privileges access. I'm talking privileges access in terms of IT. Okay. Not that you should be stopped going to university. Still there are physical access to be looked into, biometric, so that you are physically identified, but you may not be just directly allowed to get into any server rooms or network room or app room or whatnot. Similarly, if you're logging in other than hacking, which is not great, wrong side of hacking, you are accessing something which you should not be. So those things needs control. And then until and unless we believe that we should be taking precautions and assuming I am being infected or breached or attacked, you may not be able to create that level of security. And that's why you need assume breach concept. That means assume you are already being breached. You are infected or the data has been infiltrated, whatnot. And that's when you will secure your identities, devices, data, application, whatnot. Anyways, in short, just to conclude my first part of the topic, I know it is one way. You have to listen a lot. But yes, this is knowledge session. You need to take a lot of things than just theory. In Microsoft as an organization, we believe in protecting everything. What does that mean? Protecting everything means what I said here, protecting your identities, your devices, your data, applications, the infrastructure network, in the gamut of whatever we control, we manage, or we shared in the shared cloud model, as we say, we have the limit. Simplify the complexity. So many technologies, somewhere security, somewhere data privacy, compliance, regulation. We try to simplify things. Same the way you use the devices. As easy it is to navigate, touch, exchange, chat messages, and no much of cumbersome. Your parents can do that, grandparents can do that, kids can do that, right? Anybody can do that. Even non-techs can do that. That is the beauty of technology. All the entrepreneurial mind people on the call, create product which is closer to user. That's what product management is all about. Create technology, features, even the smallest website, which is so easy that when I click on some website which you people have created, I know that what is the outcome. I click on that, I pay, I click on that, I get these services. It should be simple. It is not required to make heavy things. So simplifying the security is very tough because of the complexity which it carries. Then we, being a largest organization in security today with 15 billion business which we did this year as per the latest financial reports, right? And behind that there is a lot of technology, lot of data centers, lot of threat intel, honeypots, everything whatever we put around so that we can catch what others miss, right? And then grow your future. End of the day, security is not just maintaining the threat. I've already covered security is not trust. And second thing which I was sharing, let me put that context. Attackers are like water. Attackers take path of least resistance. Water you throw based on the container. If you don't put container, it's built around. Easy to go. It is not blocked. It's not like a hard wire or whatever. It takes the shape or process which is defined. What does that mean is to do an attack, it is not going to take complex things, or if you have a very tight security, they will disturb. As you might have seen, right? Any theft at home, any burglary, any other processes which happens, any alarms which get raised is only because somebody left the door open, somebody left the window open, somebody, telling entire social media that I am in Goa with entire family enjoying and not thinking that he has told that nobody is at home, right? Go ahead and, do whatever you want. Anyway, so idea is as much as we open the loopholes, weak areas, the methods becomes easy and cyber criminals will look for the easiest method. they don't have too much money to invest to penetrate one after the other. What I'm saying is the more robust you are, the more secure you are, the more updated you are on your smartphones or desktop or laptop. You are not lazy just to accept everything which is coming, not lazy to acknowledge any application, especially students doing gaming online. With a gaming online, see lottery, immediately multitasking, click on that, download. Don't do that and thinking my gadget should be more secure than being little furious on the companies and saying, hey, I lost this money, right? And then don't even know whom to report to. So many education needs to be also aligned, right? Are you all with me? I know it is one-sided. Thank you for 200 people on the call listening to me. Whatever you are doing, being remote, but your superficial eyes, ears, brain is listening for time being, on and off. Be with me another 15-20 minutes where I will talk a little bit of career side of it, how these things are shaping up for you, as well as few more tips and technology aspects. Okay, so that's how the ROI. What is ROI? Return on investment. What is return on investment? That I invest, like you invest on your time in studying so that you get good marks. You are brighter in front of your management, your faculties. You get better career, better outcomes. Right. Similarly in technology or whatnot. So to conclude, all of you, please rethink security as a single glass pane. It is an era of building resilience because of work from home. We are not in the corporate secure network or a network of education and all. You all are logging in from different devices. Make sure your router, your smart devices, intelligent devices which can talk, which can on 24 by 7. Hi Cortana, hi Alexa, these all are talking, listening to you. Make sure the minimum security are there, your Wi-Fi passwords, your routers at home, your devices are having better password encrypted. Don't let it be opened by somebody because cyber criminals are waiting for the loose ends, right? So today, just to give you our organization perspective, we believe in security to be an integrated security. Protection of devices, protection of identity, protection being more on the collaboration productivity tools like Teams, or the threat intelligence like Security Operations Center, and then compliance, adhering to banks regulations, payment gateways, anybody from universities, education, research which is happening, how we store it, how do we secure it, what is the next level in AI, quantum, how do we secure work on those research. Each and everything is all about integrated security, but without compromising on advanced technology. Advanced technologies are must to use. Cloud first is the way forward. Artificial intelligence and automation is the way forward, right? I'm sure none of you on the call is new to Microsoft by name. I hope so. I believe so. But to give you Microsoft a little bit of tech flavor, we are a cloud native company, a platform organization, acquired few best of these services from industry, built a lot on it. Privileged to share our executive, our mentor, the visionary CEO, Satya Nadella, an Indian by birth. He got Padma Bhushan. I'm sure you might have heard in the news how he's evangelizing the world, sitting on the other side of the world, building huge amount of community, a tech savvy individual. And then this is how the things are for him, looking into the vision of security, getting the platform which can help you be more productive, exchanging your best thoughts, thought leadership, building your career, evangelizing, learning and skilling like LinkedIn. Microsoft Dynamic 365 towards database, SQL database you have seen, all the intelligent platform which you do at the front end, a lot of database or the back end platform, intelligent platforms get built up our Microsoft platform, all the data centers, infrastructures on which things can be elastically ready, multi-million devices, millions of users can get connected in a fraction of seconds, more than on-premises to the cloud with the infrastructure or a platform which is called Microsoft Azure, and GitHub, where I'm sure many of you must have your work, your efforts being saved, or DevOps, SecOps, device library, software development kits, software lovers, software geeks can use GitHub as a repository, right? And on top of it, behind everything else is the identity, security, management and compliance, which is a Microsoft security ecosystem. And we run on multi-cloud, multiple clouds can be secured, multiple platform can be secured, governance, compliance and year on year update, right? So with that, I will avoid the technical part of it, which is more of a product for today with limited time. But I kept it so that I show you that these are various things. When I say security operations center, you have a tool called security, incident and events management, SIM. It's a category under which the threats can be monitored, managed, defended. And we have a cloud native tool which is called Azure Sentinel, by which security operations centers can be managed across platform. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, any product technology you're using can be secured for their identity, can be secured for their devices, application, email attacks, documents which are shared on cloud, whatnot, right? And accordingly storage, right? So with that, let me end the presentation and take 5-10 minutes quickly on securing part as well as thinking, and maybe taking some questions as well. First of all, thank you for listening to me on this presentation. Let me stop the sharing. This is more of a little tech session, little corporate view as well, to give you the flavor, touching only few areas, not got into entire security, but to give you in context that security is all about protecting the network, protecting information, protecting devices, protecting everything which is digitally connected. And then when you are getting deep into data, it is also about data security. When you're protecting those data, it's called data protection. When you are getting into identity security, you have a lot to do with something called identity and access management, right? And when you are storing, securing the data on the devices, you do a lot of storage, archival, data storage management. When there are attacks and you create plans for it, then you get into process like crisis management. If crisis happens, what do you do during attack, before attack, post attack? If a breach happens, even with the best of the security or data security and protection policy, what is pre-breach activity, what is during breach, what is post-breach. So a lot of things to think through and learn on. To conclude, right, it is very important to understand that while there were COVID, while there were people working from home, there is an unfortunate turbulence in the economy globally, including India. People lost job, but on the same time, the job for IT, the job for security or compliance in totality got increased. They got more responsibility, more jobs were created. Now 1.9 million jobs are staying and looking into to fill that gap in India itself. 3.5 million jobs are there in cybersecurity which needs to be filled, right? This is a domain which has huge amount of specialization. It is not just like saying computer science or IT or BA or BE or even BH, anything what you have done based on the tech intensity requirements. You can be a legal part to do data security, you can be in sales to do security, you can be in business development, working with government policies, you can be core software development, whatnot. So, and by the way, this is industry agnostic. Healthcare requires security people more. Manufacturing, smart cars industry require you more. Don't think it is IT, top security companies to look into. So this is the job perspective. This is the data which is available. You can check. So don't think you have to be tech savvy to do that. Do your tech. Don't leave your education. You can, if you are more outspoken, if you are extrovert, if you believe you can build sales, look into commerce side of it, create platforms. Accordingly, you can choose and specialize in security. If you love a lot with data governance, you can get into governance, risk and compliance part of it. If you feel like a geek, you can do coding and build a lot of platforms. Maybe you can build new security product, compliance product, cloud products, cloud security product, right? What not? So plethora of abundance of job opportunities are there. Do your internships, do your things. But one thing I would like to say, you need to slowly granularly in a granular way get to specialization. You can't learn everything. These are so special. It is same like a doctor. Just to give you the easiest analogy or relationship how it works, right? Be an MBBS or BDS or homeopathy or similarly, and then you specialize, you do advanced PhDs, doctorate, you get into a specialized surgeon only for brain, surgeon only for ENT, only for heart, only for bones, right? Orthopedic, whatever. Similarly, the specialization is so deep you won't believe you can do an entire career in AI security, quantum security, encryption, future security of future internet. Future internet means the next advanced internet which you people will be living in with IoTs and AI and the advancing in quantum and advanced technologies and smart devices, right? With that, I'm so thankful you have given me your patience hearing. You have spent your good time. I hope it was a quality time. It is just a first interaction to throw so many tech, non-tech strategy words. But with due course, you can create an entire curriculum. We can define things for you. Join those sessions. Be part of it. Scale yourself. See what industry require. Things will change. I will hand over back. It's close to 1:30 now to the staff and the management. And if they have any questions, they can unmute and ask. I'm there for 10 minutes to hear you as well.
Thank you so much, sir. What a wonderful session we have. And so now is the Q&A time. Students who or audience who want to ask any question, they may raise your hand. And I request RP sir to please unmute them so that they can ask their question. Yes, Ravi Sheikh, you can ask, unmute yourself and ask the question.
Am I visible now?
Good
I
afternoon,
heard
sir.
that there is a black screen. Ms.
No,
Jasmine?
no, sir. You are
Okay.
visible, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Ravi Sheikh from BTech CXC second year, sir. 4 semester, sir. Sir, I have a question. If we want to enter this platform, where we started our journey, sir?
I'm assuming the word platform is technical, but you are asking if you
Sorry.
want to get to a journey of security. No, every question is correct. I'm just trying to correct myself that if I heard you well. So what you mean is Ravish, right?
No, sir. Ravi Sheikh, sir.
Ravishek, sorry Ravishek. Ravishek, so question is how do I get into this industry or how do I learn more about cybersecurity? Is this the question?
Yes, sir. Right.
Good. Okay. Let me take few more questions so that I'm sure there will be many more similar, but
Sir,
I'll
I
come
have
back.
a more question, sir.
Go
Sir,
ahead. Shoot.
sir, if hacker perform me on system 7 attack, then how do we I'm survive?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Great question. Great question. Any more questions? I'll try because time is less, so I'll try to compile few of them, but answer
No, no,
each
sir.
each each of your questions. Thank you, Ravikesh. Hold on for a second. I'm assuming, if I'm not reading wrong, Teams is telling me 200 students, right? Or at least the community altogether. And 150 people giving their time and effort. Please go ahead. Every question is a great question. Answer can be stupid. Question cannot be stupid for sure. Anything which is in your
Good
mind,
afternoon,
don't
sir.
think. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
I can hear you.
I'm also a student of RIMT University and I'm currently doing as my diploma. And I have a few, not so many questions, but one question. Yeah, I've been joining this industry. I want to join this industry, right? And I'm partly taking a participants as watching videos and doing all this stuff that's related to security and all the ethical hacking stuff. And I've been learning not since too much, but around months or years. And I've been realizing that more certifications are required for the getting into cybersecurity as being a beginner or initial level learning hacker or being want to be in the field of cybersecurity, what sub- what certification would you recommend to take as a cybersecurity
Very good question, Suman.
students
Great,
or
great point. Great point. Thank you for asking that. I'll come back to you. Thank you. Thank you for putting the question on certification. I'll definitely answer that. Bear with me for a minute.
Yes, Ajay, you can unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Chengchoy from Mechanical fourth semester, sir. Sir, I have heard about the blockchain that it is the future of this cryptocurrency also, and it has a very good security by using this blockchain. So can you please give a more
Good point. Good
elaborate?
point. Heard you. Very good. Keep going. Excellent.
Good
Keep
afternoon,
going.
sir. Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon.
sir. Myself, Ajay. Sir,
Ajay, go ahead.
cyber theft is a big problem today, but all the tech-savvy people, they say that blockchain technology can solve all these problems. So how true is that, blockchain technology is answer to all the cyber theft in today's world?
Thank you, Ajay, for asking that excellent question. Add on to the earlier question, elaborated one. Yes, great. Let me answer that. Anshika Rana.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, it's being a big pleasure to talk to one of the great personalities. I'm a big, this I cannot tell how much I admire you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So cybersecurity has, sir, as I do not have perfect definition of cybersecurity. Can you explain cybersecurity in your way? What does it mean to you?
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, last question, one more. I'm just checking my skills as well in a sequence or any way can I mingle around and answer everything, but let's go ahead. Last question. Anybody?
Sir Anshika, sir, I want to know what are the failures you have faced during the journey of cybersecurity?
What are the
In
failures?
your failures, sir.
Excellent. I'm so glad that if we allow more time, people will open up and they ask the right questions. And trust me, the more you are thinking and asking in the right way, no doubt about it, all the questions are really going very, very critical. Okay, let me quickly answer. Have I lost the screen? Yeah, it is back. Okay. Okay. So let me start with the last question first because that is the common question in terms of understanding, which is very, very important. Last means not the failure one, but a little bit of education on cyber security. As it is asked, by definition, just to share with you, cyber security has been there for some time, not the day when you go back decade. Earlier it was security of systems, PCs, endpoints, right? And then there was an IT, we used to call it as information technology, then advanced information technology, security, information security and all. And from a decade plus, we are taking a lot of the naming of cyber security. In the layman term, you read through internet, whatever, it will somewhere fall down on this connected world. It is no more one or two devices, it is interconnected, and in this connectivity, what all things are there? Computers, servers, devices, smart devices, electronic systems, telcos, network, data. So this cyber security in one line, it is a practice. It is a practice to defend all these systems, whether it is mobile, server, network, data, or whatever way. It is also known as information technology, which can be handled to secure anything which is electronically connected, right? So, and in that, just to emphasize, now you know it's a practice to protect or secure or defend all the interconnected assets, whether devices, server, network, electronics, so on and so forth. What all it comprises in cyber when you say, okay, I got that, sir, but what is it to be, protect? You protect networks, right? so that when I'm connecting and mobile is connected to the entire internet through multiple networks, are they all protected, right? And as well as your own device mobile. Applications, you connect to laptop, desktop, websites, connect to applications. When you connect, you to transact digitally a lot of zeros and ones and then to bits and bytes and data end of the day, right? You need to secure the information, right? And then there is something called operational security, network or the infrastructure security. And then how do you manage the continuity process if something happens, disaster management, disaster recovery, and obviously education. This whole thing is all about cyber security, cyber education. Blockchain. Today we are seeing cryptocurrency, a digital currency, a new way of utilizing it. A lot of people are moving it, but more than cryptocurrency, which started with Bitcoin, end of the day it is based on a technology called blockchain. Blockchain is all about, by word block which you hear, blockchain is all about virtual ledger. Like in banks you have banking systems all defined. These are pieces of blocks which have the information in each and every block which is connected to the other one, have their own security parameters encrypted. You cannot tamper the way normal internet you can communicate, and something called man in the middle attack. Somebody can siphon the internet connection and attack, right? Like assume you and me are internet way connected and some cyber criminal are able to intercept our traffic and whatever I am sending it to you gets diverted to him, right? And he is able to read, and there are many ways to look into whether it is IP address hacked or email earlier hacked, but end of the day he is connected and now he's controlling the network or whatever. In blockchain, the way it is being built upon, the type of encryption, the type of security which is built, and it has a knowledge of the earlier block, but they are so connected tightly that these are able to secure more. So in short, blockchain is a virtual ledger. You are able to secure by blockchain technology 10 times or 20 times more than the current security. Yes, it is secured. Can something be vulnerable? Let it get used more like all the other technologies. It can be vulnerable, but is it more robust, more secure? Answer is yes, right? That is another part. The last part, which is talked about, that you wanted to get into this or any of those related questions, which is more on, I want to get into this field and how security is there or the vulnerabilities which we see, right? Or how do we secure ourselves into that? So first of all, the security is everyone's responsibility. That means you do your part first, whether, you need not to be tech, it can be non-tech. So you connect to your devices, you do two-factor authentication, you are not sharing your credentials, you're not storing your credentials on your systems, mobile phone, no easy passwords, use biometrics, more secure ways to do into it, right? And then coming on the career side of it, as of now, whatever stream you are into and the technology you are evolving into, after that you need to look into what is the area where it is more needed for you to be evangelized. For example, doing a security certification in Microsoft, though you wanted to do on the legal side of it or work more on data protection, on governance compliance, that the directions are different compared to be a software security product owner or product engineer or product manager, right? So whether you are tech savvy, more on security operations, whether you are on IT or you want to talk to people or you want to do more of coding, accordingly you need to identify the areas and then look into specializing into that, then build on getting into it. There is no single capsule of getting into cyber security. Yes, there are few things which each one of us to do when you need to build to security is fundamental of security, fundamental of networking, fundamental of endpoints, right? Fundamental of information security. What is privacy? What is compliance? What is data protection, right? And the books which you have currently or the academic curriculum. Other than that, you are just doing the fundamental certifications. Many certifications are free, trainings are free. Utilize that to be an early runner into that, right? Once you conclude all that stuff, then you can specialize doing, for example, CISM, right? CISSP are the certifications, CEH, ethical hacking certification, plethora of certification from Microsoft or any other cloud provider or cloud native certifications can be done. So it's not one after the other, but there is a hierarchy, or sorry, there is a process of doing one after the other certifications as well, reach out to me separately on the connected network. I'll be able to guide you in other sessions. I hope most of it is answered. Anything left out, how to be more secure, how to be more robust, will be answered. Thank you everyone for your time, precious time. Ms. Jasmine, over to you to conclude, and I'm more than happy to take many more sessions in the future.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request our head, R.P. Singh, to head of the Department of Research, Innovation and Incubation, to please have the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Jasmine. Well, Deepak sir, it was a really wonderful session, and it was a really knowledgeable session covering all the aspects of the cyber security, and it is very tough today, and especially when we are dealing with the IoT and the coming cyber cloud computing and coming era, that is IoT, how many too many devices and their data will be on the cloud, and to secure that it will be very tough. And you really show the pathways that how and where students, even our researchers, can start it. So I thank you for accepting our invitation and sparing your valuable time for us, sir. And near future, I would like to be a part of another session from your side. It can be any TED talk, or it can be in a physical mode for our students, our faculty member and the researchers. Here, I also would like to thank our industry partner, Mr. Gagandeep Singh Sekhon, CEO, Tech Indus One, and who is regularly in touch with us for the pilot projects on the cyber security, as well as some other projects on the IoT basis platforms. And I really wish that Gagandeep Singh Sekhon sir will also support us in near future also. So from the RIMT management side, I really thankful again, and also big thank to all the students, faculty, heads and deans, those supports us and to encourage us for arranging such a session, such a beautiful session. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Before I leave the virtual dais, and thank you for recognizing that piece, even in Microsoft, we believe, and nobody in the world can do everything alone, right? We are so passionate about our partners, our industry community, especially academia as well. Similarly, in your side, I'm known to Gagan, the CEO for INDUS, and at the same time, the way the evangelization or thought process he's bringing around, while I'm mentoring the teams and supporting, and as well as looking into the other side of it, how industry and academia builds it. People like them who are passionate, bridging us together. We don't get time, we don't get opportunity, not known to each other. But through them, we are able to evangelize and build that many more things, maybe building the excellence centers, maybe building the incubations, helping students to groom, looking into closer to industry. I'm so thankful to the team of INDUS as well as Mr. Gagan. Appreciate your kind support, and thank you to the university altogether, especially the students and management who have put together their time. Wish you a good day. Have a good year ahead. I look forward interacting more often. Stay connected to digital in the right way. Secure yourself in the social world. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, lots.